We'll call the 16th of April Development Review Committee meeting to order. We'll start with roll call. Community Development is present. Police.
Mike McKinley.
Public Works.
Vladimir Simonovsky, City Engineer, present.
Fire.
Jeremy Holderfield.
And Building.
John Hansen's here.
Okay, the first two items are future land use amendment and a rezoning. It's the same project. It's the Summit Wolf Lake Ranch, and Gene Sanchez is the project manager.
Good morning, everyone. This is a proposed comprehensive plan amendment as well as a rezoning for the Summit at Wolf Lake Ranch. As you can see, this is west of Boncan Pines Road, north of Boncan, and this is essentially kind of a third phase of the Wolf Lake Ranch subdivision. Right now, I think the Roseville Phase 2 has undergone all entitlements, well, almost all except for maybe construction site plan. And this one is going through essentially the same process. If you remember, it's kind of almost planned to connect where along Poncan Pines Road, there's an access planned on Wolf Lake Ranch Phase 2. So it makes sense to do this, but we're not up to the site plan process yet. This is just a future land use amendment from mixed use, which is on the normal part of the city, not north of Boncan and west of Rock Springs, would permit up to 15 units per acre. But we do have a policy that restricts it at 2 dwelling units per acre. Therefore, they just want to make it compliant with our comp plan policy and go to residential, very low suburban at 2 dwelling units per acre, and zoning from mixed use East Shore Gateway to residential single family. I think it's 2B. Is that right? Which is a little bit of the larger lots and matches the other two phases of Wolf Lake Ranch. I didn't get any huge comments. We did have a constituent reach out to us, and I'll let the applicant address that. But also, we did also get one comment from police in regards to the impacts on the intersection of Boncan Pines and Boncan Road. If there's any additional questions, I'll try to answer them, but I defer the rest of my time to the applicant.
My name is Tina Demosthenes, 400 International Parkway, Suite 470, Lake Mary, Florida, MI Homes of Orlando. We're the applicant, Bill Mackey.
Good afternoon. Bill Mackey, Daily Design Group, 913 North Pennsylvania Ave. I'm the applicant.
One of the questions that came up at our community meeting was from the neighbors. You can see it at the top. I don't know if you can you point to it when you do it? The three houses there, the Kennerly family, and now actually maybe zoom back out just so you don't mind. They, as part of our plan, kind of when we did our pre-app, when we did phase 1, we had to build. Expand Poncan Pines Road to be a 60-foot right-of-way for the full length of our site. When phase 2 came in, all of the property for Poncan Pines Road is actually part of the Let's property, which is in the phase 3. So we were only able to do the emergency access, the 20-foot within the easement that we had because we didn't have the full right-of-way to build a full road. Now that we have phase 3, during our pre-app, it was indicated that we would have to construct Poncan Pines Road all the way up to the north. With that, we expect the city's going to want a cul-de-sac, a T, some kind of fire department turnaround. The neighbor, the Kennerlys, they're the end of the road down there, and they have a gate midway through. They kind of made it their own property, I guess, because a lot of people are coming up and turning around up in their property. So they've asked that we not construct the road for the full length. I said, well, the city wants us right away. It can probably be dedicated regardless if it's where it's developed to. So we just wanted to, whether you guys want to have that conversation here, if you guys want us to do a separate pre-app just to discuss the road, we can do that. But we wanted to go ahead and open up that conversation now because we're moving into our MDP and we want to, obviously address the concerns presented by the neighborhood, but we're going to do whatever the city and the county and everybody tells us to do. So, but there's options, and we're just want to say that we're flexible depending on what you guys decide.
Well, I'll start. I went out there yesterday, and the gate across the road needs to be removed. second off, if you don't improve that road, then we have limited access to the emergency exit from phase 2 for the fire department to get down there. So the road's got to be improved, because if it's not improved now, then it's the city's responsibility in the future to pay for it. And right now, it should be the developer's responsibility to pay for it, not the city of Apopka and our residents. So I think we stick to the plan. The road goes to where it's supposed to go to. It gives the fire department a substantial base, an adequate road to go to the emergency exit for phase 2, which is being changed off of Pond Can.
Yeah, and that's only like 100 feet north, so
Well,
that's easy.
but
So,
they can move their fence back to their property.
okay.
They don't have, I don't think they have a legal standing to gate a right of way where they've gated it at this particular point in time. I understand their concerns, and it's something that, as a police department, we're going to have to deal with. I'll let the fire department address how the road ends so that they can turn around if they have to go down there for some reason. But it's my position that that road needs to be extended to your development, so that the city of Apopka doesn't incur that cost in the future.
And that's what we said at the community meeting, but we said we would ask, and he called the city
And again, I understand their concerns, but it's got to be done so that we can reach the emergency access. It's going to be for phase 2 of your other subdivision, and the city should not have to pay for your developments to do that road in the future, because if it's not done now, then it's incumbent upon us to pay for that in the future, and we have enough things we need to pay for without having to go back and pay for something else in the future. I do know that I made a comment about the line of sight. I went out there yesterday. I'm okay with the line of sight. I think it's fine. It's better than what I thought it was. I hadn't been out there in a little bit.
I think the expansion of the right of way there and that really kind of opened things up in that area.
So I'm not concerned about the line of sight. I am concerned about the school zone sign. It was my understanding, I thought, under phase 1 and then phase 2, that was going to be a flashing light that worked when the school zone was active, because now you have all these people coming off of Pond Can Pines onto Pond Can Road, and they don't know when the school zone is active.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that sign needs to be changed to a flashing light consistent with the 2 flashing lights at the other ends of the school zone on Pond Can Road, so that when your homeowners come off of Pond Can Pines, they understand that is an active school zone at that particular point in time.
So
not
right,
just this little yellow sign there that you can miss.
When they right turn out from Pumpkin Pines onto Pumpkin Road, when they right turn out there, that's where the flashing sign should be.
No, I want it on Pond Can Pines, where there's a current little yellow one there that is very easy to miss. I want it there, so when they're coming off Pond Can Pines, whether they turn right or left, they know that that's an active school zone at this particular point in time until they get to the end of school zone signs.
Yeah,
Okay.
as it is right now, like Chief is saying, I actually happen to live in Wakaiva Run, which is across the street from it. As Wakaiva Run comes down and Pine Can Pines all the same direction, the signage is on to my left. I can't tell if I'm in a school zone or not. Any neighbor living there has no idea when they're in a school zone or not. And you're going to have the same problem with Pine Can Pines, people coming out the same way. So the signage, while it's facing the opposite direction, they can't tell when it's actually school time.
Okay.
I mean, I don't think you have to run power to them anymore. They're all solar powered and timers and everything else. But I think it does need to be improved. I don't think the current one is sufficient.
And we have our CSP coming in for phase 2, so we can look at that with that, as part of this. We don't have to wait till this one.
Okay.
So
that's all the comments I have. Thank you.
Any other questions or comments for the applicant?
Yes, on Pumpkin Pines, since that's going to be, it's currently a public road.
yes, sir.
It's going to be designated as a public road all the way to the north end. So
Yes, sir.
there's no gate that can be placed in a public
Correct.
road. Right,
Right now, it's just an easement, so he has an easement on private property. So it's not from
correct.
north of
Correct.
where the road ends today is just easement.
Yes, correct. Okay.
But upon phase 3, it will become public road and be constructed to the top.
Okay.
Well, while we're speaking on the road, what is the endpoint for the fire department turnaround? Are you guys doing roundabout? Have you guys looked into that?
Yeah, we're looking at a roundabout.
Looking at
With the fire truck, we have the fire truck. We have we have a fire truck route. Captain Felter, Kimberly Horn, 200 South Orange. We have a fire truck turnaround sketched in, and we put the fire truck in there as well. We take a little bit out of this lot that is already a little too big,
Okay.
oversized. So we have it sketched.
So this would be phase 3, I guess I'm looking at right here.
Correct. This is the one that's on the rezoning, and this is phase 2. So this
Okay,
is
so they will allow.
yeah. So the engineering points are aligned, and then one this gets platted. We'll put the easement in for this guy access.
Yeah, so
When
so
that's
their
getting
access
done.
will continue to be here.
Yeah. So then this is this is will be the little driveway that can go to the north up here.
What other access into the subdivision? Is it just this for us?
There's one to the south.
So for this
Is this
phase 3 itself, yes. So that was going to be a part of our discussion in the master planning for that.
Okay, we can bring it up. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Do you want to do a separate pre-app and just get with you offline?
Get with me offline. Probably best
Yeah.
to discuss that.
Because I know there's like
'Cause-
so many units per house. This is.
All right, that's fine. My only thought is, and obviously we'll discuss that later. How many houses we're adding to that third phase, along with the first and second phase? That's a lot of properties on Pond Can Pines, with our only entrance into all 3 phases on Pond Can Pines. There's no other way in there besides that road, so it's always a worry for me with the amount of houses we're putting in that area.
It has been just developed as a 60-foot, full 60-foot right away with sidewalk. It's full road. It's not a little skinny
Yeah,
lane like it used to be.
Yeah, I think you have curb and gutter and sidewalks.
Okay. All right, that's what my questions.
Okay. Anything else? Community development has no further questions or comments. Police.
I don't have anything else. Thank you.
Public Works. Public Works. Vladimir. Vladimir, do you have anything else?
No, this
Okay.
yes.
Fire.
No other comments.
All right. And building.
I don't have anything, thanks.
All right. Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is the plat for Orlando Apopka Center. First submittal, and Amir is the project manager.
Good morning, everyone. This is a plat application for a warehouse at the Orlando Apopka Commerce Center. It's just south of US 441, west of 429, and the future land use is industrial and zoning is PD. The applicant was sent comments from both the legal and surveyor, and staff and applicant are available for further comments and questions.
Any questions of Amir or the applicant? These are all existing industrial buildings located north of
Yes.
the
So,
airport.
Bobby, one question that I have is the Apopka Logistics Parkway. It's now private, correct?
It's private.
Because the
yes.
dedication is not clear. It says dedicated to, and then it needs to be, maybe the language needs to be refined a little bit there.
Okay. Is the applicant in attendance? Yeah. Okay. If you would mind coming and addressing the comments from the DRC.
Good morning, everyone. Sam Sabali with Florida Engineering Group. And I have with me Kurt Ardeman. He is the attorney for the project, and Joe Thompson, who is the owner's representative. And we have a couple of clarifications, but, we'll start. I think you had a question for me, maybe?
Vlad, you had a question about the road.
Yes. So, I'm coming late. I know this is already built. We're just at the plot point, right? Just wanted to make sure that the road, because it wasn't clear in the in the legal description, is it private or public? And it seems to be private, right? So we need to make sure that the language is included there.
All the roadways, or, they're mainly driveways inside of the development, all of them are private. And we do have note number 5 on the face of the plat, which states, they're all easements, so there is no dedication to the public. And we have included with the submittal the restrictive covenants, which, set forth, all the maintenance requirements and obligations for the lot owner. So nothing within this plat is dedicated to the public.
Including Wesley Road, correct?
That's correct.
Okay, because Wesley is internal only to
Yeah,
the side.
Correct. And the project abuts Apopka Logistics Parkway, but it is not inclusive of that road. It just fronts it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
And I think we had a question, 2 questions. One of them was about the dedication, which I think was comment number 8. So just wanted to clarify that one. It had, question about the dedication, and I think there was a question about the legal authority of Mr. Honesty to sign, and Mr. Alderman can address that.
Yes, thank you all very much. Kurt Ardeman with the Fishback Dominic Law Firm, 1947 Lee Road, Winter Park, Florida, 32789. With respect to the dedication that's on the plat, there's not going to be any dedication to any public agency because it is the responsibility of the 4 lot owners to maintain, repair, replace everything internal to the property and all of the internal roadways, the walls, all the water, the potable water, the stormwater. So there's no burden on the public with respect to that. So that's a good question. So there will not be a dedication to the public or to the city or anybody else with respect to that. It's all internal. With respect to who signs the document, as you can see on the first page of the plat, the owner of the property is Exeter Wesley Land LLC, but then it is signed by 3 entities below that. It's a typical corporate tiered process. We have the authority for the man listed on here, Jason Honesty, as the person that can bind the property owner, Exeter Wesley Land LLC. If that's sufficient, we're happy to do that. We're happy to discuss that with your city attorney. Or if need be, we can get a separate document for each one of those entities saying each one has the right to bind the one above it. It's really a choice for you all. I would suspect that your city attorney will probably be the one that will ask or be able to answer that question for us.
Yes,
Okay.
definitely. We can consult with him. Yeah. Typically, will be whoever at the point of recording is owning the property, and then it will go to the assignees after.
Okay.
Yes.
Great. Thank you.
Any other questions for the applicant? Just have one observation. It says preliminary plat. We don't do preliminary plats here. If you can just remove that note from there.
We will do that. Are we expecting any additional comments from the city surveyor, or are these all the comments
These are all the comments currently from both the legal and the surveyor.
Okay, great.
Yes.
We'll go ahead and address them, and we will remove the preliminary. I think the preliminary was meant from the surveyor to us, that he didn't finalize it, but I understand. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go around. Community development has nothing further. Police,
I don't have anything. Thank you.
public works,
No other questions.
fire,
No comments, thank you.
building.
I don't have anything, thanks.
All right, thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you all very much.
Next item, 1770 Sheila Road, major development plan first submittal. Amir is the project manager.
This is a major development plan for 18 single-family homes and 24 duplexes. Future land use is residential low, and zoning is residential 2-family. And staff and applicant are here for further questions and comments.
Just to add, this is the one that's next to the police department's gun range. I know there have been meetings on site between the police department, planning, and I believe the former city engineer about the design of the project. The applicant is here as well. So with that, we'll turn it over to the applicant.
Josh Ena, 200 South Orange Avenue with Kimley Horton.
Any
So
questions?
here to answer any questions.
Anybody have any questions for the applicant?
No, I don't have anything. I know that he wants to discuss with us the berm design, and Vladimir and I will try to stay as long as we can afterwards to look at what your proposal is and make sure it's going to be sufficient for the city as it moves forward.
All
Perfect.
right.
So I know this is an MDP now, but as soon as we get into the construction revision plans, we need to address the stormwater.
Yes.
The stormwater, my concern will be, I see that what is proposed now is to put that pond in the northeast section, right, of the property, and then to build a retaining wall to the
Correct.
pond that is actually kind of shared between this property and the subdivision to the north. So that's going to be critical to see what is the capacity there. Most likely you cannot combine them because of the elevation difference, but that we will have to take a closer look at that, and I'm looking forward to see the stormwater report on that.
Okay. Yeah, and perhaps like a meeting offline for that specifically to understand the methodology you want us to show with
Yes.
that would be good. Especially with that pond, it's not a permitted pond by the any agency right now.
Okay.
So
So that's an old subdivision. So
correct,
most likely it's not permitted by St. John's.
correct.
Maybe you can look a little bit deeper into maybe some old DEP data
Hmm.
that they have on that. It's my concern is it seems like it could be a landlocked there. It doesn't look like it goes anywhere just from just brief observation, but that's something you're gonna have to investigate, and I'll take a closer look at it as well.
Yeah, and within our investigation, it is a landlocked lake. If anything, that would stage up and then go towards the subdivision along the east side,
Okay.
so north on the what's on the screen right here. Um, so our current design is retaining the whole 100-year storm.
Okay.
So, but definitely we'll set up a meeting to talk about the stormwater specifically and what you're going to be looking for from us there.
Okay. When we're at stormwater, I had another question. I see you put only two inlets on each of the roads. I'm maybe on the wrong page. Let me see. Just bear with me
Do
for
you
a
remember what
second.
sheet that's on?
I'm trying to open it. Let's
Is
see.
this it?
C6.
This is gonna be well. Let's start with the utility plans first. While I'm there, C7.0. You show the lift station, but you don't show the connection to the force main. Now, the force main is currently on the west side of the road, but you're gonna do widening there for the right turn lane
Correct.
and also for the left turn as well, northbound. So that will basically the force main and the water main will remain under the future pavement. It seems like.
Correct.
We need to make sure that we have enough clearance, that we have enough vertical separation for that the road or the load is not going to impact in any way these two utilities. If that becomes a question, we may have to go into relocation slightly, moving it further into the right of way. That triggers another question here with the right turn lane southbound going into the first entrance right to the north, which you're going to have to do. This section of the road is still operated and maintained by Orange County, so you will need to have a right-of-way permit with Orange County. My concern is the right turn lane. It seems like you're showing it right at the right-of-way line.
Hmm.
So I assume that they're going to require some additional right-of-way there
Correct. Yeah.
for to have some separation. Also, the sidewalk will need to be put in frontage of the entire length of the project. It's going to have to tie into the south sidewalk, just on the south where the church is. They have it up to the property line, so you're going to have to extend it all the way to the end of your north end of the property, right?
Okay.
So that's going to be an issue. You may not have enough buffer for that little swivel of the pond, so you may have to work on that section of the pond, maybe redesigning that to have a proper buffer and burn for maintenance and definitely to fit the sidewalk there, and
Right.
it may be a dedication for a sidewalk easement. It
Hmm.
may come to it. I'm not sure what the county approach is going to be on that. Right?
Right.
If it's going through the city, I will probably suggest that as an option,
Okay.
personally. Right? But I
Right.
don't know what the county is gonna ask at this point. So yeah, those are the few things uh, on the utility and the right of way issue. The south entrance that you have, it's right in, right out, but you only have striping there. That section is very dangerous there because of the elevation differences. The visibility is pretty bad.
Right.
So there are two options here. We can look into, and again, the county is going to have the ultimate determination, right? I'm just suggesting,
Hmm.
the striped area can be a raised median, concrete median,
Right.
that can make it safer. And of course, proper signage. There's going to be no left turn, right only. The other option will be if they want to keep it as it is, then we're going to require inside at the entrance on this particular access point, like a pork chop, another
Right.
raised median, right? So we make it safe that way because the tendency will be, it seems like you have enough clearance, right? And people will try to cut through and make a left turn there.
Hmm.
We just want to make sure that we protect that because it's very dangerous. And there's been, I don't know, Mike probably, Chief probably knows, there's probably some accident there over time.
To be
I've
honest with
seen
you,
a
I don't
lot.
even
Yeah.
remember this south exit. What has it always been there?
Yes.
Or I thought it was
Well,
an internal loop at one point.
I think we're required to have two, I believe.
Right.
Um,
You were going to have an emergency exit or something, but
right.
I don't remember this loop. And I'm concerned that, you know, I think it needs a raised median because, to be honest with you, pork chops don't work.
Yeah.
They drive over them, they drive around them, and we have a significant amount of accidents at Cleveland and Sheeler just down the road. And the traffic along Sheeler Road is getting worse. And now we have another subdivision planned a little bit further south of our firearms range, which is going to add more capacity to Sheeler Road, and it's only going to become worse. So I think it needs to be a raised median there to prevent them, and with enough of a curb going to the north to stop them from wanting to slide that way too against the flow of traffic.
Right.
Otherwise, it's a significant safety hazard to come out of there. The pork chops don't work.
Okay.
They never have. They never will. They
Well-
find their ways to start to go right and then just flip left and cut across traffic and everything.
Okay. And so the raised median, we'll look into that and talk with Orange County on that. I know they'll have the ultimate say on what goes inside of the road, but we'll definitely have those talks with Orange County.
Mhm. Yes. Going back to the grading plan, I see that west end where you have the additional parking there for the amenity.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that's going to be like a playground or a pool, maybe. There, I don't know what is exactly the plan now. It seems behind the parking lot and behind the amenity, it seems pretty steep slope going from the adjacent properties into this property. So somehow you will have to probably regrade that, provide some swell because it's not clear how the runoff is going to be dispersed and moved into the overall system.
Okay.
That will be one of my concerns. Now, regarding that as well, you show some landscaping. I think if I recall on the landscaping plans, you do show some landscaping there, some planting of trees. That may be too steep, so yeah, you'll have to see maybe if you can maybe cascade that, or I don't know what other options will be to mitigate that, or yeah, even look maybe for a different area just to be
Okay.
able to satisfy those conditions, right?
Mm-hmm.
And finally, I believe it was the drainage plan on C 6.0, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go to it. Yeah, 6.0. You're collecting over 500 feet, it seems like, on both rounds directly into the inlets there. I know you're putting a 24-inch pipe, but it will probably be better that I'm a little bit concerned because everything goes in one direction. You're going to have a lot of runoff over 500 feet going down that road. And with these intense rains, especially microburst afternoon rains in the summer,
Mm-hmm.
uh, that I would prefer to have, to intercept that maybe 300 feet away from this and have additional pipe and additional collection.
Okay. Yeah, we can add in a few interceptor
Yeah,
inlets.
that's all internal again. But when you have so much runoff coming through it, and you're very close to the intersection, some of that may not be captured, and it can go on over Sheila Road and can create hydroplaning issues there.
Right. Okay.
So that would be my concern. I think that's probably be all for my comments from what I recall. Last one thing, I'm sorry. At the roundabout at the end there, I'm sorry, not the roundabout, the cul-de-sac, where you have structure 11, it's hard to see, structure 11 going into 28, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah, you can't have that across the cul-de-sac there. You will have to route it around somehow, probably another manhole or another curb inlet. They can collect it. Maybe you just regrade it and put it on the east side, on the east end.
Yeah.
I think that will work better. And then from there, just go straight to the manhole number 10, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, we can reroute
Yeah,
that.
but we can discuss some of these issues separately. I don't want to expend too much on it. I think these are the most important things we need to address.
All right. Thank you for that feedback.
Any other questions for the applicant? All right, hearing none, community development has nothing further. Police,
I don't have anything else. Thank you.
public works. Anything
I'm
additional?
sorry. Yes, no additional
Okay.
questions or comments.
Fire,
No comments, thank you.
building.
Nothing, thanks.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next item, Invitation Cove. And I'm inviting Amir to present this one.
This is the second submittal for Invitation Cove, a major development plan, and it's a proposal for 43 townhomes. The future land use is mixed use, and zoning is mixed use downtown. The applicant is in attendance, and staff and applicant are available for further questions and comments.
This was the former site of a proposed apartment complex that had gotten approvals through City Council a couple years back. There was a variance that was tied to a turn lane, I believe, on Monroe Avenue. I'm sorry, Oaks at Monroe was the name of the project. So this is a different project. It's a townhome project on the property. So the applicant is here, and she's here to answer any questions you might have.
Good morning. Kim Fisher on behalf of the applicant. I don't have any questions for you, but if you guys have any questions for me, and then if we're able, I know the comments were kind of minor, if we're able to move to the next stage.
Any questions or comments for the applicant?
I apologize. I don't remember seeing this come through the OpenGov. Are these rear-loaded products or?
Correct.
Okay, so obviously, with all of our consistency, they need to be facing a named street,
Correct.
and the alleyways need to be lit with street lighting, not with building lighting, with street lighting.
Correct.
Okay. Sorry, I got to keep repeating that, but
You made those comments on the first submittal.
I'm not going to quit until October.
So you're consistent.
I'm not going to quit till October 31st, and then you all don't have to put up with me. I'm retiring, so.
Oh, on Halloween, are you going to dress up on your last day? Maybe like a cop?
I've been dressing up as a cop for 42 years. I'm just going to keep up with that.
Maybe try to don on a fire uniform or something.
But my predecessor already knows that that's a requirement, so.
Kim, I have one quick question for you. So buildings 1 and 6, they're going to front on Monroe?
Which one's one?
Buildings right here, 1, and then building 6.
They will front Monroe, which is a named street.
All right. All right. Any other questions?
Okay,
Yeah.
so yes, so
Nope, you had your opportunity. I'm sorry.
so you're gonna have access directly from Monroe for this 1 through 8, right? Or you said 1 through 6?
Buildings 1 and 6, I think they'll be accessed via the
alley.
alleyways right there. So the front will be on Monroe Avenue.
The front, okay.
Yes.
Should we look maybe into street parking there?
Street
Or
parking
that's
on
going to be
Monroe.
difficult to achieve here.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because you're going to have too many.
We'd love to have street parking there, Vlad.
I'm sorry?
I said we'd love to have on-street parking to slow people down. However, I thought public services didn't want on-street parking.
Well,
has that changed?
Yeah, well, I'm trying to
Let's
imagine how
change
this is
it.
going to look because
That's
you have
fine.
six
Police would
units.
probably love it
They're all
to
going to
slow
have
people
individual
down.
driveways, right?
There's no driveway she's proposing on Monroe.
The driveway.
No driveways on Monroe.
The access
They're
is
rear loaded.
It's rear loaded, so the
Yeah.
driveway's
Garages are in the
internal.
back.
Okay, so the driveways will be in the back. Okay. On all of them. Okay.
I
so
wouldn't
that's
park on Monroe. Those people drive like crazy people.
good. Okay, is the intention, are these going to be alleyways? Because it's all tracked A, right? But I see the main road is wider than the.
They're alleyways, so the
They're
garages are in the rear, and they'll be accessed with the alleys.
Okay. So my only concern with this will be again turning the garbage truck there, picking up the garbage.
hmm
It's kind of between 1 and 3 will be critical, and the other one like 37 and 38.
We spoke to something with a J maybe in garbage, and we're proposing a little concrete pad right by the ponds for those end units for him.
Is there a way we can do potentially there, maybe on that side, on the west side, like a hammerhead?
Well, there's kind of a hammerhead there now in the alley, but that was the conversation I had. Was it Joshua maybe?
Josh Robinson.
Yeah. I had a conversation with him, and I went back and forth, and we had the pads, the concrete pads right next to the pond behind lots 9 and lot 36
Okay.
is where we'll put the garbage cans for those end units.
Okay, and track A to the south, this is for future connection for the
Correct.
adjacent property. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, that will help definitely. Now, so your only access will be right now through Monroe at this point, and
At this point
eventually,
until
when the other properties develop,
correct.
hopefully it will be all connected to the Winn-Dixie Plaza there.
Right.
Okay.
Hopefully.
If, have you looked into maybe getting a cross-access easement to the Schiller Plaza right now at this point?
The one to the other
The
side.
one to the east, yes.
We tried several times before when we did apartments, and they were no, no, and no. I think the city actually tried also with them, and
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. One last thing. So on the left turn lane,
we're going to add that.
we made a comment.
I forgot. Bobby
It's-
said it, and I forgot.
So it's gonna be a little challenging there because on the east side there's an intersection that is probably, I think you have maybe 180 to 200 feet separation there.
We'll use the same turn lane that was approved last time because
Okay.
it's in the exact
So
same
that
spot.
was already approved
Mhm.
with the previous plan.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then I'm okay.
Yep.
For now, yes. Thanks.
Bobby, can you zoom into that fire truck really quick on that description? Not over to the other side. What actually shows the side of the fire truck itself. Other way. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. To the side again. Over where the description is. All right. That's gonna have to be adjusted. I must have missed out on your distance on that. Your fire truck link you guys have used is the wrong.
Here you go, Amir.
That's the wrong dimensions of the fire truck we use.
Okay.
So you're looking for 47.65 feet.
47.56 feet. Okay.
Yeah, 47.65 feet. And then Bobby, back out, please, and go back over to buildings. It looks like 1 and 6.
And by the way, we don't have any intentions of fire trucks going down the alleys. Just
Yeah, I understand
Okay.
that. We still have to have access to these buildings. So my question is, you zoom back out just a little bit, Bobby. Buildings 1 and 6, you got dead ends right there, of what it appears. What is your distance from, I guess, the turn from where 4 and the 5 are all the way to that in distance to where the 1
about
is?
60 to 80 feet.
60, 80 feet.
Mhm.
And that's on both sides, I guess it's
Correct.
similar. Okay.
About 40 feet on the other at building 6.
All right. And this is our only way in this neighborhood and out. This is the entrance on the road.
Currently. And then the future, there will be the cross access to the left, the west, north.
Okay. All right. All right. No other questions. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else? Any DRC member have any further questions? All right, hearing none, community development has nothing further. Police.
I don't have anything else. Thank you. She's heard all my comments in the past.
She's going to be at your retirement party too.
I'm sure they all are.
Everybody's going to dress up like police officers. It's Halloween. Yeah.
Yeah. No
Public
additional
Works.
comments. No additional comments or questions.
Fire
No comments. Thank you.
and building.
I don't have anything. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Okay, so there's nothing else on the agenda. Anybody have any items for discussion? We are adjourned.